Macaulay Culkin around here?
Question is for Catherine.
Okay.
Catherine, do you still keep in touch with Macaulay Culkin at all?
You know, I haven't seen him for years and years, but I saw him 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago at a Martin Mull art opening. And he was coming out and he went, Mommy. And I said, Baby. Oh. And my husband, who's usually cool about these things, said, okay, both of you get together. I'm getting a picture. And he got beautiful pictures on his phone, which I wish I had to show. Yeah, sweet. He was living in Paris at the time, and he looked lovely, and he was doing really well, and I was happy to see him.
I love it. Of course you were all at a Martin Mull art opening. I love it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which we talk about all of your favorite TV series from yesteryear, and then discuss them over a glass of wine. I'm Patrick M. Dunn, and you probably remember me from the previous 68 episodes. And I'm joined here, as always, by Kat Halstead, the author.
Hello, everybody. What's up?
And welcome to our sexy 69th episode of the podcast.
69.
Things are going to get very unapologetically sexy tonight, so be prepared, listeners. Be prepared. And we have a very special guest with us as well. You probably remember him from the Scream 2 episode and the Sunset Beach episode. With a great round of applause, we want to welcome back Stephen DiFiore back to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. Very happy to be here 69ing with you both.
We are wine, dining, and 69ing you tonight.
Funny comment about that. I literally just uploaded the Alanis Morissette Jagged Little Pill album onto my computer like an hour ago, and I was listening to that song with that on there. I think track 5, whatever it was called.
What song is it? Because I totally recall the lyric.
Yeah, you took me out to Wine Dine 69 me, but didn't hear a damn word I said. Is from...
It's the very first song on the album, right?
No, I think number 5.
Oh.
It is... Sorry, it's loading. That was just really random. Wow. Right through you.
We love you, Alanis Morissette. Shout out to Canada. We are in our Christmas hangover period right now. So it's Christmas/New Year's. It's that kind of blur of holidays. And we have just had enough with everything going on in the world. So we wanted to have some jovial fun. We just wanted to have some mischief, some light criminal activity. And what better way to do this than with Home Alone 2, Lost in New York?
Kevin McCallister, Macaulay Culkin, love of my 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old life.
Catherine O'Hara. You did not appreciate Catherine O'Hara as a young child.
I was in love with Macaulay Culkin. I thought I was going to marry Macaulay Culkin. Come on.
I think that's a really weird crush to have.
You know who mine was as a child? Was Jodie Sweetin. Still is a little bit.
I think everybody liked Jodie Sweetin.
Okay, I mean, I also had a crush on Scott Baio and Kirk Cameron, so...
I'm sorry.
And Leonardo DiCaprio when he was on Growing Pains.
I could see that, but Macaulay Culkin is weird to me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Maybe because we know what he has become?
Yeah, that's probably... Well, okay, but then also look at what Scott Baio and Kirk Cameron have become. So.
That is true, but...
I try not to think about them.
I also had a crush on David Lasher, who played Ted on Hey Dude.
I think the big thing, though, is that Macaulay Culkin was he was a cute child, and then he became an awkward teen, and he never escaped the awkward teen phase. He just kind of remained in it forever.
He's probably comfortable as that, though. Because he never, think about it, he really didn't get to be a kid. Because he was doing all the movies.
So is that why he looks like a weird Skeletor-like creature? Is because he never got to be a child?
It's because he's stressed out from never getting to be a child.
Is that what happens to you?
Happened to Michael Jackson.
This might be a thesis. Maybe we have to research this deeply.
Hello? Why do you think there's all those, awful stories about what happens to child stars? Are you just completely oblivious to, all that stuff?
I'm not oblivious to all that stuff, but...
I try to be.
Macaulay Culkin did not become, a cute teenager. He became a weird teenager.
But he also, stayed out of the public eye for the most part.
That is true. Like, I think Saved, was that the first one that he really came back into the limelight? Shout out to Mandy Moore.
Party Monster?
Love Mandy Moore. That was after Saved.
It was after? Really?
I think so.
I feel like Monster was a lot later.
I thought that was earlier.
I felt like I was in my 20s when Monster came out. And I feel like Saved was when I was 18-ish. Like, I definitely was in high school when Saved came out.
No, because Mandy Moore definitely didn't start doing movies until we were in college.
Party Monster was 2003, and Saved was 2004. Kat was right.
Damn, Gina.
We suck.
Booyah! Hashtag Team Cat.
You're welcome for that, by the way.
Oh, honey, that's existed for a while.
Not for me.
What is everyone's favorite quote from Saved?
I am filled with Christ's love.
Mine is the only one that matters, which is Hilary Faye, I can see your tampon.
I have not seen this movie in, over a decade. Sorry, guys.
Neither have I, but I just remember that quote for some reason. And I'm really surprised that it came out in 2004, because I felt like I was in high school when that came out, but...
I remember watching it, right after I moved to North Carolina. Not North Carolina, where am I at? Arizona, sorry. What fucking state do I live in?
You live in Arizona, I'm in Colorado, and Pat is in South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm having such a Mandela effect when it comes to Saved, apparently.
The Mandela Effect Conspiracy Corner. What was it? Oh no, we didn't get to talk about this. The whole, the movie that people think Sinbad did.
Oh, yes.
There's that whole, Shazam thing that people are, convinced that Sinbad played a genie in a movie called Shazam. And he's like, I never played a genie in a movie called Shazam. I think you've got me confused with Shaquille O'Neal and Kazam.
And do you know what's even best about the story is now Sinbad wants to make a movie called Shazam in which he plays a genie.
He does?
Yes, he tweeted that the other day. He's like, you know what? I think I should just do this movie. And I think he's actually going to start working on this, which this may be the greatest thing that will ever happen to any of us.
Oh my God.
This is better than Fuller House being canceled.
Oh. It was renewed for season 3, so watch it.
Yeah. Be nice.
I am dreaming. Dream on.
Oh my God, I have to tell you this. Today, my stepsister tells me, she's like, so there's this guy at work, and he watches Girl Meets World and Fuller House. And I was like, okay. She's like, I don't know why he tells me this stuff.
Is he gay?
No. She's like, he's really hot.
Oh.
I was like, okay. She's like, Mom thinks I should introduce you to it. I'm like, okay. So I think I might be getting set up soon.
Kat's going on a date.
You can help him out of the closet if you want.
I think I've done enough of that in my time. Thank you. I think I should be past that.
You should invite him to Vegas, and maybe Steven will give him a hand job.
What do you mean, maybe? I will.
Oh my God.
Shout out to hand jobs.
You guys are just going to destroy any chance of me meeting my dream man, aren't you?
Just wait till the 40th date before you tell me I have a podcast. Then that way this episode will be so far back he won't even go back and listen to it. Unless he's a huge Home Alone fan. I'm like, oh, you did a Home Alone episode?
I'll keep that in mind.
All right, so the big shocker is that Steven did not see this movie until he was in his 30s. Actually, it was 2 weeks ago when you watched this movie the first time, right?
Yes, I was 32. The first time I remember seeing the movie.
So how did you go through your whole life without seeing Home Alone 2 Lost in New York? You've definitely seen the original, though, right?
I did. I remember the original. We would watch it every year at my grandmother's house. But I don't know. I guess my family was not a fan of sequels. They rented it when it came out, which was 94-ish. And I was obsessed with Super Nintendo. So I would run upstairs. I'd go into my parents' room, and I would play whatever game I would rent, typically The Empire Strikes Back. And I would just play that all weekend long while they watched the movies.
And when you went into school on Monday and the kids were talking about Home Alone 2 and talking about all the fun shenanigans that happened in this movie, you just pretended you saw it?
I don't remember. I think I was probably sitting in the back corner reading a book.
Which book was that?
More than likely something Batman.
Batman has books?
Yeah.
I know he has comic books, but...
Yeah, he had
novels?
Novelizations of movies or whatever.
Oh, like Batman Returns, the novelization?
So I think it was gearing up for Batman Forever or some shit.
God bless you.
I mean, I saw this movie the second night it was out.
I'm pretty sure I saw this on the premiere night. You remember, I'm pretty sure Fox had a special behind the scenes presentation 2 days before it came out, and I totally watched that.
Oh yes, totally.
And I just sat in my living room with a heart on, just waiting for this movie to come out.
Because of Kevin?
Buzz. I was a big Buzz fan.
Oh, okay.
No, I think this is like the only movie I remember going to with like a bunch of my cousins. Because like all my cousins are like so much older than me. So, and they like now have grandkids of their own.
Grandkids?
Yes, grandkids.
Holy fuck.
My cousins have grandkids. That's how much older than me they are.
Are you part of the Home Alone family? Are you a McCallister?
No.
Because the kids in that family are all like weird ages. Like it doesn't make sense because I feel like the parents are too young to have older teenagers.
Well, think about it. It goes back to like the thing with Charles in Charge and Michael Jacobs, the young parents. Like the parents were our age.
And they had 17-year-olds already.
Yeah.
Shout out to being in your mid-30s.
So...
It's a hoot.
I mean, I know when you're an actor, you can play an age range, but like, there's also times when like characters state their age, and you're just like, wait, hold up. You just said you're 35 years old, and you have a 15-year-old daughter, and you're like a successful lawyer. Something's not like clicking.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
It's a little creepy. Although I was thinking about it, my second cousin, she's 36. I think, and she has a 17-year-old kid. And I was like, holy crap, that kid could soon have his own child.
Yeah.
And my cousin could be a grandmother before she's even 40.
Yeah, like my one cousin, because she had a kid when she was like 18, and I was like 4 or 3 or something like that. So that kid has multiple kids already. Scary. It freaks me out. But all my cousins are like way older, so...
It's the 16 and pregnant effect.
Well, like, she was the only one who had a kid that young. The others, like, waited until they were in their, like, mid to late 20s, early 30s or something. But still.
If I have a child, it's going to be because someone found a crusty pair of underwear that had some still active sperm left on it, and the female accidentally put it on. That's the only way that's going to happen.
Or you can do the Sunset Beach route and someone can just take your sperm with a turkey baster and impregnate somebody with it too.
Or that too. You never know.
Oh my God.
Yes, I think those are the only two routes.
Shout out to Sunset Beach. Shout out to Virginia. And next week on the podcast, Virginia will be on the show talking about the logistics of her scheme to impregnate Vanessa.
Let me see if I can find Dominique Jennings for you too. I probably can.
You probably can. Does she have a Twitter?
I don't know. I never looked her up.
You know what? I would never think to look her up.
Yeah, I didn't until you just said that.
Well, if you can't, you can just send a little email to Cam.
Yes.
Hey, Cam.
Well, I know that she actually, speaking of Cam, just had a baby shower with Priscilla Garretta, or whatever her name is, and Lisa Coles. We're both there. So it was a mini Sunset Beach reunion.
Yeah, I feel like those three girls are friends.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, who am I looking up?
Dominique Jennings.
Wasn't she in like a Listerine commercial too?
Probably. She had a pretty mouth.
She did.
Which sounds weird.
I mean, there's someone with that name, but I don't think that's her. No.
It's a white girl who has cats.
Yeah.
Probably Buzz's girlfriend.
I think we should get into Home Alone 2 now. So I feel like we should do kind of like a pros and cons thing because this movie is just way too insane.
Okay, the movie's not insane. You're just like ridiculous.
It was a little insane.
This movie is bananas.
This shit is bananas.
There's so much going on in this movie. It's hard to keep track of what's going on. The parents are horrible. There's crimes being committed. There's homeless people. There's pigeons. There's fucking rich people. Donald Trump's in it. There's so much going on. So it's really hard to get a huge grasp of this movie. So yes, this movie is insane.
This movie is basically Kevin's family accidentally forgets to make sure he's behind them at the airport, and he gets on a flight to New York. They go to Miami, and he's in New York alone, so what's his kid in New York do? Goes to the Plaza Hotel because the game show he likes promotes it.
To just quickly rehash the events of the first movie, his family accidentally left him home alone, and he stopped criminal activity. It's a year later, and they do the same thing again. They just leave him somewhere.
Yeah, because they're the worst.
Yes, so there's a scene where Catherine O'Hara and the dad, they're in the airport, I guess where security is. There's not even as much security as we're used to. This is one of our pre-9/11 issues with movies. Yeah, but there's a part though where Catherine O'Hara and the dad are talking to a cop, and they're explaining
Oh,
the events of the previous movie.
They're at the actual, like, security office. They're not, like, at a security checkpoint. You're, like, way ahead. You're so far ahead of everything. No.
We're doing pros and cons. We're not doing linear. We're talking about how the parents are horrible. Jesus Christ, Kat. Stop it. Stop it.
Well, if you're going to talk about how horrible
you're messing up my
parents
thought.
are, you have to go back to the part where the parents punish Kevin instead of Buzz.
But I'm just saying the parents are horrible, and I'm giving an example of why they're horrible. And you're horrible. You're a horrible person. I don't know what I was saying. This is why I had a hard time ending the podcast. Because I had all these, like, thoughts, and then I was gonna, like...
Fine, you just talk. I'll just sit here and look pretty.
I was gonna do the theme, and then we can kind of fill in the gaps. Because everyone knows the movie. We don't have to explain the movie to people.
No, apparently not. Steven never saw it before.
Unless you're me. But I think I'm the only one. Everyone I talked to knew this movie.
We just have to talk about how shitty these people are. Everyone knows the movie. This isn't like episode 36 of Facts of Life.
Okay, fine. I'll just sit here and look pretty.
Where was I? I don't know. Let's start over.
The security office?
Kat, take the reins.
No, I don't want to.
All right, so the parents are shitty. They're awful parents. They went through the entire events of the first movie. They left their child at home alone. And he managed, but he kept it on the down low. And now we're in the second movie. It's a year later. It's Christmas again. And for some stupid reason, they decide that they want to leave town and bring the whole family. And they suck at managing things.
They really do.
They just don't know how to manage things. So it's the very beginning of the movie. And Kevin is in the parents' bedroom. And he's playing with his talk boy. And he's just recording things from the TV set. Just random commercials. So there's a commercial for the Trump Plaza Hotel or whatever the hotel is called.
It's just called the Plaza.
It's the Trump Plaza. We're just going to call it the Trump Plaza Hotel. Why not?
Whoa.
Did Kat just walk away from the podcast?
No, she just kind of light up. She's in darkness. She hates you.
Did she just like Rosie O'Donnell to view us right now?
Way to go, Elizabeth.
Am I Elizabeth in this scenario?
I think so. Yeah.
Now, I'm a horrible person. Who are you going to replace me with? Who's coming in after me?
The Dairy Fairy?
Shout out to the Dairy Fairy, who may or may not listen to this podcast. Probably not. Kat's not saying anything in this episode. This is like a cat-free episode.
Fuck you.
Are you really not going to talk to her on this podcast?
What were you asking me? No, I will. I'm not that much of a petty bitch.
Sorry. I had a moment. I thought we were doing like themes, and then you were telling me we were doing things linear, and I was jumping ahead.
Well, because you were making no sense. You were like all over you're like, okay, I'm going to do this theme, but we're not going to talk like, we can do the theme linear.
Where are we?
I haven't even started.
Should we start over? I think it's time we should get into talking about Home Alone 2 now. What do you think?
I think we should go somewhat linear.
All right, let's do linear. So the movie opens in Chicago?
Yes.
So they live in Chicago. They still live in that rich-ass home.
Which is a great house.
How many rooms are in that house?
Not enough for Kevin to sleep in his own room, but a lot.
So it's Peter and Kate are the parents.
Yes.
And they have... It's Buzz, Kevin, and two other kids?
Yes. One's Big Pete and one's Linny.
The little girl?
Yeah.
Where's the Ronald Weasley redheaded kid come in? Whose kid is he?
That's Big Pete.
Okay.
He was on Adventures of Pete and Pete, which is a lost episode of our podcast, by the way. Oh. It may or may not come out. But all these people live in this house, and I guess once a year, the rest of the clan swings by?
Well, like, for Christmas, Uncle Frank, which is Pete's brother, and his wife Leslie come with their, like, crap ton of kids.
With their brood.
Yeah. And then, you know, Kevin gets kicked out of his room and all that kind of mess.
Because he won't share a bed with Fuller.
Well, because Fuller, what's the bed?
He just likes his Coke.
Why don't they just, like, put him in like a diaper or something if he's gonna still wet the bed.
Because this family is shitty. That's why.
Right? Worst movie family ever.
So Fuller is Uncle Frank's son?
Yes, Fuller is Uncle Frank's son, played by Macaulay Culkin's real-life younger brother.
Kieran. My favorite Culkin.
Uncle Frank is a horrible person.
Yes, Uncle Frank is a dickhole.
He's a piece of shit. He's probably awful to Fuller and his 47 kids. And Uncle Frank has probably never heard of a condom or any kind of contraceptive, and he just reproduces because Uncle Frank has more kids than Peter. Right?
No, they have the same amount of kids.
It just seems like a lot of kids. I don't know why.
Well, because you know what? In the first movie, they also had a couple of kids from the other brother too. So it just seems like there's a whole lot of kids. But really, there's
Uncle Rob?
Yeah, Uncle Rob. Because they had a couple other kids who were going to Paris with them. But each family has 5 kids.
Okay. It just, when you see them all on screen running around the house, it just looks like 87 kids running around this house.
Okay, I know you don't spend a lot of time around kids, but one kid can feel like 15 kids.
And if they're all Culkins...
Because trust me, I have 3 nephews, and spending just a few hours with the 3 of them, I feel like I've just spent time with 25 people.
And how many bathrooms do they have? Because apparently Uncle Frank takes a shower in Peter's master bathroom?
No, I don't think it was the master bath. I think there's the bathroom that Kate and Peter have. They probably have one right off their bedroom. And then there's probably one that the kids share. There's probably 2 that the kids share, actually.
So Uncle Frank is using the one that Peter and Kate uses?
No, he's using the one the kids use.
Okay.
Because Kevin left his tie in the bathroom. So
Kevin's just chilling on Peter's, his parents' bed. Mm-hmm. And he's watching a shitty game show. And there's a commercial for... It's really the Trump Plaza, but they just call it the Plaza in this.
That's what it's called.
Is it really just called the Plaza in real life?
Yes.
I thought it was Trump Plaza. Why do they always say Trump Plaza Hotel?
I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's just the Plaza. I'll look it up if I have to.
Okay.
I think you have to.
Yeah, I think you have to too.
Because I feel like it's the Trump Plaza, the Trump everything.
Feel like they always say Trump Plaza Hotel on TV and in the news and in my day-to-day life because I live in Trump country. Everyone around me is a Trump supporter, so...
I do too. Welcome to Arizona.
Welcome to America, apparently.
Shout out to moving to Oregon.
Is that the non-Trump state?
Yeah, they're very hipstery. So, they're all Bernie or Busbuster people.
Everyone's woke in Oregon?
Pretty much, yeah. Everyone tells me I'd like it there, but I hate hipsters, so we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, it was never the Trump Plaza, guys.
Then what is the Trump Plaza? Why do I know that? Why do I say that?
Because you're crazy?
But do you know what's really sad about this movie is that Donald Trump is not the most evil character in this movie. It's Uncle Frank.
Yes.
He calls Kevin a pervert because Kevin went into the bathroom for a second to grab his tie.
Oh, I know why. I found an answer.
You found an answer?
Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City.
Ooh.
Well, It used to be there.
It failed.
It had a good 20 years.
It had a good 20. I feel like that's my life. A good 20. All right, but Donald Trump is not the most evil character in this movie. Unfortunately, it goes to Uncle Frank. He calls Kevin a pervert because Kevin walks into the bathroom to grab his tie. He's in the bathroom for a second.
He's not even in the bathroom. He's reaching his hand. It's his hand trying to grab something off the door. And Uncle Frank flips the F out because he doesn't want everybody to know that he has a tiny penis.
Micro dick.
Uncle Frank told Kevin that he has a giant penis. Basically is what he said.
Yeah, which is creepy. You do not tell your nephew that kind of stuff.
They didn't say it in that exact term, but it was implied.
Yes, it very much was implied.
I believe...
He's trying to overcompensate because, let's be real, he doesn't have much compared to the other brothers. Okay, can we be honest? I mean, you've got Peter who has this huge house in Chicago. He's got the other brother Rob who has a whole freaking brownstone in New York and lives in Paris. And then there's Frank. He's got Leslie and he's got Fuller and 4 other kids.
And Uncle Frank probably works a tough job, probably is overworked, he's overtired, and the only time that he's probably the oldest, I'm gathering too.
Probably, I get that feeling.
Yeah, he looks older than Peter, so he probably feels like he has a lot to live up to because he's I'm the first one out, I'm the oldest, I should be guiding you all, but I don't know. What do the other brothers do? I don't think I even know.
Like, I don't think we actually know any of their jobs. Like, we just know that Rob got transferred to Paris, like, the year before. And they all have 5 kids. So...
Do you think it's like a McCallister rule? You have to have 5 kids?
Like, I don't know. Maybe there's 2 other McCallister siblings for their age group somewhere.
There should be.
Probably like sisters who are like, yeah, we're not hanging around Frank for Christmas. Bye.
We changed our name when we got married, so we don't have to have the 5 fuckers.
It's like, we're out. We might have 5 kids, but we are so not dealing with Frank around our kids.
But Uncle Frank yells at Kevin, and Kevin records the argument on his Talkboy, which is this like weird recording device, which is a pretty cool fucking toy.
Yeah, well, you actually had one, didn't you?
Yes, so I got it for Christmas, and you just jack a tape cassette in there, you hit record, you hit rewind, you hit fast forward, you hit play, and you can slow down the voice, you can speed up the voice. It was the greatest thing I ever had in my life. And Kevin McCallister is a fucking wizard at this. He doesn't do what I do, which is like, he records like a stupid conversation, then he's like, I'm going to delete this, but he saves it. And this is an advantage to him later on in the movie, because he records Uncle Frank calling him a pervert and singing in the shower. Next time, this is a warning, a cautionary tale to all our listeners out there. If you have a creepy uncle who calls you a pervert, or is just generally weird to you, just record all your conversations with them, because you never know where it may get you out of a sticky situation.
Exactly. Well, if you have a creepy uncle, record all the conversations anyways, because...
Please.
You're going to want the receipts. Always have the receipts.
Sorry, Uncle Chester, I have to record this.
You screen cap those wacky conversations. You make sure you've got the backups.
So that's Kevin McCallister. He's a smart kid. Very forward-thinking. He's very intuitive. And if he was home alone for a weekend, he would survive.
Well, we already know he would, because he did twice.
But his parents don't know this like special feature about him, though.
They really don't.
Parents don't know anything about him.
All they know is that a gold tooth was found on the floor of their house the previous Christmas, and they just didn't know where it came from.
Like, do you think they even questioned Kevin, like, about what happened in the neighborhood? Do you think he ever had to talk to the police about what he maybe saw since he was home alone?
Now that you're saying this, because you know what? The Wet Bandits went to jail.
Yes.
And maybe Old Man Marley, like, took the rap for catching the crooks? Who knows?
Maybe.
Is there, like, a novelization that ties the 2 films together?
No, I don't think there is.
There should be.
Home Alone, Summer Break.
Yeah, as a fan fiction writer, Kat, I think you should tie the 2 together.
That's what you think I should be doing?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought I was supposed to write Stephanie's Wilder Ride.
I'm still waiting for that, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I just re-listened to the Full House episode earlier this week, and I was like, wait, where's Stephanie's Wilder Ride? I haven't seen this yet.
I'm sorry, I was lost in a Girl Meets World fanfiction world.
Well, you need to write faster. You need to get those fingers moving across those keyboards and just pump out some fan fiction pieces.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Thank you.
Walden Books is waiting.
I'm sure they care.
All right, so Peter McCallister makes a fatal mistake.
Yes, because he's a freaking idiot. Oh my god. He unplugs the alarm clock. Okay, first of all, these are people who slept through their alarm the year before. You would think maybe set up a couple multiple alarms? Like, wouldn't you have a backup?
A battery-powered one, right?
Or like an analog, like, kind of thing going, just to be safe.
Did they sleep through the alarm the previous year, or did like a tree fall on the wire?
A tree, like, knocked out the power and the telephone and everything.
Okay. But you think they would have had like a battery-powered something, like a wristwatch that has an alarm?
Something, or somebody else in the family would have had an alarm clock.
Or just a clock, just a regular clock.
Like something. Nobody else in this family had anything.
That's why I stand by this is a shitty family, the shittiest family in the world. I feel like they all rely on Peter McCallister.
And I would just like to point out that the Manson family is far more shittier.
I think Kevin would have gotten along better with them than he did with the McCallisters.
I feel, yeah, Charles probably would have appreciated Kevin.
Right? He wouldn't punish him for his older brother putting fucking glow sticks behind his ears.
Any family, I think, would be better than the McCallister family.
The Trump family would be better.
They look out for each other. Donald Trump always looks out for Eric. Is it Eric?
I think so.
Despite the shitty things he says on CNN. But Kevin, he makes the taxi drive to the airport. He actually gets on it.
Yeah, he actually like makes it onto the shuttle. All the tickets are labeled with everybody's names. They've counted them like several times.
They did all these precautions, except the one thing they forgot to do was actually like physically take inventory of all their kids.
Like they get on the plane and they do not like just double check to make sure like all the kids are there. They're too busy getting put in their first class seats.
Would you want to be the airlines that sponsors this movie?
No! American Airlines, what's wrong with you? Oh, wait, you suck.
American Airlines, they show the logo, the name, they say American Airlines probably like 40 times in the first 20 minutes of the movie.
And it's like the same airline they used the last time, too.
But would you want to associate yourself with like the movie that lost a child in New York?
We lost a child, we let them on the wrong plane.
Oh, all you have to do to sneak onto our planes is just bump into me, so I'll throw all the tickets up in the air.
And we're just gonna let you on the plane anyways.
Yeah, so Kevin misses the plane because there's two guys in Chicago that wear the same jacket. The same shitty long trench coat. Like the tan trench coat. Made out of that, like, velour.
I think my mom had one. I really feel like she had a jacket just like that in Pennsylvania.
Did she see Home Alone 2 and was like, oh my god, I need that fucking jacket?
Probably. I was playing a video game. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, you should go ask her. You're upstairs playing fucking Tekken or something.
Yeah, so Kevin, like, looks down through his dad's bag for, like, batteries, and he looks up, and then he starts following the wrong guy.
Wouldn't you be pissed at your kid that he wanted to change the batteries on some device he had, like, while you had to do important things?
Yeah, it's like, we'll just wait till we're on the plane.
They get out of the cab. They're already fucking late for the plane. And Kevin's like, Dad, where's the batteries? And he's like, oh, it's, like, in my bag. So Kevin grabs his dad's bag, and he, like, goes through looking for the batteries. If I was that dad, I'd be like, no. Fucking wait 30 minutes until we're on the plane, and then you can fucking look for your batteries.
Yeah, like, you know what? I was not allowed to go in, like, my mother's purse as a child. Like, that was a rule. You do not just go into my mom's purse kind of thing. So I don't see why Kevin's just, like, going into a bag.
And then, of course, Peter has, like, hundreds of dollars in cash, credit cards, like, all the necessities that Kevin needs to make it in New York City for, like, 3 days.
Gets lucky that he goes into Dad's bag and not Mom's.
Yeah, so if he went to Mom's bag...
So let's be real, I'm sure Kate had quite a bit of cash.
She probably just had a dildo or two.
Oh my god, Steven!
It was double-headed.
Oh my god, Steven!
She likes to include Peter in all of her games.
Oh my god, no.
This movie would have been a completely different tale if Kevin did not have Peter's bag.
Yes, it would have.
He would have had to, like, sleep on the streets with the pigeon lady.
Could have entertained her.
With Catherine O'Hara's dildo bag?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Just don't poke your eye out.
Do you think she had, like, a crystal dildo?
She's classy. I think she had either gold-plated or crystal.
Like, she had high-end stuff, like a rabbit. You ever heard of the rabbit?
I have.
That didn't exist back then, guys.
I spend my weekends in sex shops.
Cat, lighten up.
She knows her rabbit. Or you were dolphin. I don't know which one.
Kevin ends up on the wrong plane because of, like, a mishap at the ticket booth counter and ends up in New York.
Mm-hmm. Because of course.
To be fair, I would much prefer to go to New York than Miami, though, so I feel like Kevin kind of had the better end of the stick here.
Yeah, Kevin definitely, like, got the better part of this deal.
They had to do this weird thing where they kept showing Miami, and I guess there was, like, a rainstorm in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So the family in Miami were having a horrible time while Kevin was having this, like, jovial time in, like, 20-degree New York City.
Yeah.
And it's funny because apparently he had, like, the clothes for New York City, despite going to Miami.
Well, because he only had the clothes that he was wearing, really.
That is true.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're flying from, like, a cold place to a warm place, you're only going to bring, like, one pair of warm clothes. He apparently had, like, a plethora of clothes to wear in New York City. But to be real, he was only there for, like, 2 days before Mom came.
Buzz Killington.
Kevin lands himself in New York. He has a great time. He takes a taxi. And the only place that he knows to go to is the Plaza Hotel.
Very good. Very good.
He's trying to figure out how to check in, and who does he run into? Donald Trump.
Yes, he runs into Donald Trump, our now president-elect, in the lobby, and he asks him for directions.
Donald Trump is super helpful in this movie.
Yes, he is. He tells this kid where to go, and Kevin's off to find the phones and make a reservation with his talk boy, which really pisses you off.
All right, so this is the craziest scene of the whole movie. So Kevin has to order a suite at the Plaza Hotel. So he calls up the reservation desk, and he obviously can't be a child talking to a grown woman on the phone and like ordering a hotel room. He pre-records exactly what he's already going to say as he's anticipating the answers or anticipating the questions that the reservationist is asking.
That's pretty amazing. Like he knows exactly what he needs to tell her.
He's so intuitive. What do you think Kevin McCallister's job is today? Like in real life?
Security professional.
I was gonna say a homeless bum with pigeons.
Gosh!
He got fed up with his family. He's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm running away. I'm 10 years old. I'm gonna run away to the streets of fucking Oklahoma City. And he's now a homeless pigeon man.
I think he's dead.
No. He owns like the best security firm in Chicago. That's what Kevin does.
It's possible, but probably not, because his family didn't nurture him.
No, he nurtured himself, and he knows that he likes to protect homes.
He was a young child in the 90s. He was approximately the same age as us. He had to live through grunge, My So-Called Life, Jordan Catalano, so that shit changed him. I guarantee you.
Yeah, well, it changed all of us.
It did. For the worse.
That's why we do this.
Kevin McCallister has the foresight to call the reservation desk at the Plaza Hotel, and he talks to probably this one woman who just hates her job. She's awful at her job. She does not recognize that she's talking to a tape recorder on the phone.
Peter McCallister, the father.
It's not even... It's an obvious slowed down voice. It's not like... It does not sound like a human being at all. And she sells this guy / kid a hotel room.
What does she care, really, though?
I was gonna say, it was probably her last day of work. Because have you ever had like your last day at work and like you had to do something really important and you're like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm done.
Yeah, you're like, I'm done. Sure, you can have that for $2.
Yeah. Oh no, the machine's not working. Sorry.
So now Kevin strolls into the plaza and he goes up to... He's in the lobby. He goes up to the front desk. And I can't remember her name, but I definitely knew her name the other day.
Big Eyes. That's what her name is. Big Eyes.
So this woman who works the front desk, she just willingly gives a hotel key to like a 9-10-year-old boy.
Because he has a very convincing story.
But would you still just be like, you're a 10-year-old? Sure, here you go. Here's a hotel room key. Have fun. Why not?
Yeah, here's the hotel room key. Your dad will just have to come down and sign it later.
And meanwhile, this little kid has like an envelope full of like maybe like $3,000 in cash.
Something ridiculous, yeah.
Like a ridiculous amount of money. And the whole thing is strange. But the concierge, Tim Curry, he is kind of like the only character who is really awakening to this.
He's the only one who thinks it's sketchy.
Yeah, he's like, why is no one in this hotel acknowledging this? He's probably the smartest guy in this company too. Let's be real.
That's terrifying.
And he probably makes the least amount of money.
No, I'm sure that Rob Schneider makes the least amount of money.
Rob Schneider makes the least amount of money anywhere he goes.
Because all he's getting tipped in is fruit stripes.
Unless he's making copies.
But Tim Curry, he's woken to this idea of Kevin McCallister. Just something's not right. And he needs to like get to the bottom of it. Instead of just going up and like confronting him or like calling security, he tries to launch this like...
investigation.
This secret investigation to try to figure out what's going on. And he just sucks at it. He's not good at espionage.
No, he's not.
He might have good intuition, but he sucks at espionage.
Not everybody can be good at espionage.
No, it takes a very special person.
They're not all Kevin.
At the same time all of this is going on, Marv and Harry, the wet bandits, just happen to break out of prison.
Yeah.
And end up in New York?
Yes, they end up in New York.
So let's just go to another gigantic city instead of like hiding in a small town.
Well, because they want to do more robberies. They're looking for that quick little buck.
They're in the city and they're trying to like figure things out. They're just kind of like scoping the city out, trying to like figure what's going on. And Kevin and the Wet Bandits keep missing each other.
But Harry keeps like thinking he sees the kid. Like he can sense him.
There's a weird like spider sense thing going on.
Yes, so they like keep missing each other while Kevin's like wandering around New York.
So New York is this gigantic city. You could probably live there your whole life and not bump into anybody. But yet these 3 people keep bumping into each other all weekend long.
You know, when you're meant to bump into somebody, you're going to bump into them.
And not only do they keep bumping into each other, they keep bumping into my favorite character in the whole movie, the fashionable 90s lady.
Yes.
You're like obsessed with her.
We need to name her. We have to give her a name.
Her name is Gloria.
She does look like a Gloria. All right, so we need to discuss the fashionable 90s lady, and she might even get her own podcast because she probably deserves her own episode.
Okay, what about her?
All right, so she's very fashionable. It's the 90s. She has really nice hair. This is pre-Rachel, too. This is like the pre-Rachel look.
Yes.
So she kind of has her own little thing going. She probably would have looked good on the House of Style, that Cindy Crawford show on MTV.
Yes, House of Style.
Today, she'd probably be hanging out with like Tyra Banks or Cindy Crawford.
I feel like today she would be on the Real Housewives of New York.
New Jersey or New York?
She looks more New York. The Jersey ones are kind of, more Italian looking, more like darker skin, darker hair.
You don't think she finally like was discovered and made her way out to Los Angeles? You don't think?
I don't know. I feel like she was already like content in a job somewhere. She was probably the pre-Carrie Bradshaw of Sex and the City.
I bet you Darren Star watched this. Wait, who wrote Sex and the City? No,
Darren Star.
Carrie Bushnell.
Oh, well, Carrie Bushnell wrote the book.
Yeah.
Say that name again?
Carrie Bushnell. Or Candace Bushnell.
When did the original book get published? Do we know? Do you know the year?
I don't know. I can't type right now, so I can't look it up.
I'm on my phone. Hold on.
Sorry.
Painting your nails during a podcast? Thought you were professional.
I'm not painting my nails. That's not what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. Good.
She's making a voodoo doll out of us.
You guys better watch out.
That's why my chest hurts.
I'm making a voodoo doll.
Do you need to go to the emergency room?
No, I work in an emergency room. I need to go there. Just let me die, please.
July 29th, 1996.
Okay, so Candace Bushnell definitely saw this movie in 1990, whatever, 92, and was like, holy fuck, I like this woman, Gloria, the fashionable 90s lady. I need to make a whole series of books, which will eventually become an acclaimed HBO series, and then a little-known CW series immediately. And she started working on this. And we owe it all to the fashionable 90s lady, a.k.a. Gloria.
Thank you, Gloria.
For getting pinched in the butt by Kevin McCallister.
Yeah.
And then blamed it on the Wet Bandits.
Well, to be fair, earlier in the movie, when Marv had his hand wrapped in tape with the sticky side out, he did, like, grab her butt.
Yeah, I think, like, he was, like, trying to reach in her purse and, like, it stuck to her, like, the back of her skirt. And then it was, like, it happened to be her ass area. And then she gives him, like, the punch in the face. And I love that she punched him in the face.
I'd love that too.
And she did it twice. That's why I love her so much. So, girl power, you do not take shit from these fucking scumbag men, and you just fucking punch them in the face. So, good for you. Good for you for taking care of yourself and not, like, running for help or, like, running away. You just took control. So, fashionable 90s lady, a.k.a. Gloria, a.k.a. Carrie Bradshaw, a.k.a. Candace Bushnell, we love you. We salute you. Come back in more movies, please. And then what happens after that? I don't even remember. Do we just like immediately go into shenanigans, or do we get the toy store? What happens?
No. Okay, so like he gets to the hotel room and Rob Schneider like brings him up, and Tim Curry had told Rob Schneider to figure out what's going on. So like Rob Schneider's trying to dig into the bag, but Kevin keeps catching him like snooping. And Kevin's like, okay, the room's cool, you can leave now. And then Rob Schneider like hangs out waiting for a tip. So Kevin gives him a piece of fruit stripe gum because what else is more 90s?
And it's already gum that he's already chewed. It's not like a brand new stick.
No. Buzz gives him that later on in the movie.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible viewer of movies.
Well, this is a horrible movie. No offense.
All right, so now Kevin wants to like experience New York life. So he decides to go to a toy store.
Yes. Well, okay, so Tim Curry had come up and did his little like snooping the night before, and that's when Kevin blew up the blow-up clown in the shower and played the Uncle Frank tape for when Tim Curry came in and was like walked in on the dad in the shower.
Oh, yeah, and he plays like that, "you're a pervert" kind of message, and Tim Curry like runs out of there, and like he's like, "Oh God, like now I'm probably a sex offender." Like I don't know what.
Like, was that even a saying back then? I don't think it was.
Kevin goes to Duncan's toy chest.
Yes.
Which, it's supposed to be a toy store, and you would think they would have like X-Men toys or Ninja Turtles, but no, it's just all like Christmassy type toys. It's like Hallmark. It's like a Hallmark store, a gigantic Hallmark store.
Yeah, there's no Barbies. There's nothing like that a kid would actually be playing with.
No. And if my parents bought me a toy from that store, I'd be fucking bullshit. Like, I don't want a fucking Santa's workshop on Christmas. Like, I don't want that as a toy.
I want the goddamn Bat Cave.
I want the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set with the Slimer, with the slime and all that, and the ooze and all that.
Yeah, you want fucking crazy shit. You want He-Man, you want fucking Bruce Wayne, but you put a cape over his, like the cowl over his head. He becomes Batman. Mm-hmm. You want all that shit.
I had that.
And Kevin ends up with, so he donates money, or his dad's money, to like some charity that's going to be happening like later on that night or weekend or whatever.
It's like, okay, like the dude, Duncan guy takes like whatever money he makes that like Christmas Eve day or whatever and gives it to charity.
Yeah. So Kevin feels bad and he's like, you know what? I'm going to throw you like $100, which is, it's not his money.
It's like $40. It's like $20. That's what Kevin did. It's like $20.
Well, it was probably $100 today.
No, it was like 20.
No, it was a lot of money that he did not have.
No, it wasn't. It was 20.
Adjusted for inflation.
Well, it wasn't his money, is the point.
Yeah, it wasn't his money. He said he was going to pay his dad back with the stuff he had in the garage from shoveling that he was hiding from his brother.
Very specific, Kevin McCallister. And I'm sure he did none of that stuff. At the same time, the Wet Bandits are in the toy store. They're like hiding in one of the sheds that are in the back of the store.
I don't know. We never had those.
Yeah. No, nobody has those.
Nobody, like, you know who had those? The, like, rich kids whose parents never even saw them.
The family from Silver Spoons had them. So the Wet Bandits / Sticky Bandits, they're hiding in this, like, shed in the back of the store, and they get this idea. They hear, or they see a sign or something.
From a newspaper.
Okay. So they know that there's going to be a charity event where there's going to be all this money in the cash register. And it's not even like a regular cash register. It's like this gigantic, like old-fashioned golden cash register. Mm-hmm. It's the only cash register. No one thinks of going to the bank. Like, they don't have, like, managers that come by.
No, they're not going to the bank because they're going to, like, donate the money.
No, but would you still, like, empty the cash register out throughout the day, though?
Yeah, you would save it in the safe or something.
You're not just going to bring cash to a hospital. You're going to go to the bank, you're going to deposit it, and then you're going to write a check because that is the only way to track the money.
And you're going to get one of those giant-ass, like, 6-foot-long checks to bring with you and make it look fun for the media.
Yeah, you're not going to go to the fucking hospital later on that night with a fucking sack full of cash like it's 1920. You're going to bring it to the bank where the money is properly stored and it's safe and it's in your account. It's FDIC insured. And then you're going to write a check. And then, like, as Steven said, you're going to get that big-ass fucking check. You're going to do the photo op. You're going to be in the paper, all this shit. Yep. But no, not at Duncan's Toy Chest. At Duncan's Toy Chest, they put all the money in this big fucking cash register.
Clear chest.
The one cash register in the whole store. And then they just fucking, like, empty it out at the end of the night.
There's, like, there's the cash register and there's also the chest.
Oh, yeah, like the big...
It's, like, clear. That you can see all the cash in it.
You have been a manager at a store, right, Kat?
Yeah.
You didn't just leave cash in a register all day, did you?
So we had one register, and you'd, like, have your amount of cash that you start out the day with. Depending on how busy you are, there are different, like, times, like, you might do a cash drop if you've been, like, really busy. So, like, you would take money out, a certain amount out, to put you at a certain limit so that you're, like, safe, so that you don't, like, lose all your money if you were, God forbid, robbed. And then you put it in the safe.
And people in New York City, you figure, would know this shit.
Yeah. Like, if I fucking know it in, like, small town Colorado.
Yeah, but apparently Duncan of Duncan's Toy Chest is just oblivious to the outside world.
He's very trusting.
Yeah, and they just let, like, men just sleep in their sheds. They don't have, like, staff that come by and check all this stuff out.
Like, is there any staff in that shop besides Mr. Duncan? Can we be real?
No, and why would the owner of the store, the guy whose name's on the door, why would he be at the cash register?
You know what? Sometimes they like it. Like, okay, at my, like, last job retail job. I could not, if like my boss got onto the sales floor, I would have to like drag her off it, kicking and screaming, because she loved being out on the sales floor.
Can we talk about how shitty these parents are? Because they now realize that Kevin's not in Miami.
Okay, they like go the whole flight. No one else noticed that they didn't see Kevin again. Like, it didn't send up a red flag to anybody.
They had that whole system where they put their names on the tickets, so they knew where he was going to sit. And I imagine he'd probably be seated next to someone else in the family.
Well, what was it? We were lucky we all got on the same flight. That's why we're not sitting together. But still, they should know where his seat's supposed to be. Like, I feel like this family should have been, like, had a buddy system of some sort. Something. But you know what? They probably would have buddied him up with Buzz.
Yep. Who wouldn't have given a shit. He would just find a random blonde-headed kid and be like, yeah, there's fucking Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin's here, whatever.
But they already had the tickets pre-printed out, so you obviously would have had your seat number on them, and they would have known prior, like, Buzz would have been like, oh, I'm sitting next to Kevin. And he would have been like, wait, why is Kevin not next to me?
Like, this whole flight, hey, Mom, is Kevin supposed to be in the seat next to me?
Yeah, even though he is a piece of shit, I feel like he still would have asked.
I feel like he wouldn't have.
I don't think he would have. I think he would have probably been like, you know what? That's awesome. I'm going to fucking fold my legs up underneath me on Kevin's seat now.
He's doing like the 2-seater, like, relaxation move.
Yeah. So here's a seat for me and one for my girlfriend.
He brought the photo frame with him.
She gets her own seat.
Do we know what happened to Buzz's girlfriend in between Home Alone 1 and 2? Can that be part of Kat's, like, tying the stories together?
Obviously, she got hot and dumped Buzz.
She's now, like, Uma Thurman is Buzz's girlfriend right now. She's like a supermodel, really hot, really like an it girl. We need you to do this, Kat. Come on, write us. What'd you call it? Home Alone summer break?
Yeah, summer vacation.
What happened in between?
Kevin's like at home watching the news every day, trying to keep up with the Wet Bandits trial.
I know.
And everybody's like, Kevin, why the hell are you so invested in this? He's like,
wouldn't it have been great if like the Wet Bandits trial was like the OJ trial of this fictional world?
Yes. These two men claim that a kid set up a house of horrors.
And they had they had their own version of like the white Bronco chase, and it was just like this whole thing, and
then this old man came and knocked us out with this shovel.
Yeah, like school got out early that day because the OJ trial was like verdict was going to be on.
Did you get out of school early? I was homesick that day.
No, we didn't get out early, but we like school stopped because it happened. Like I think the verdict was at like noonish.
Yeah, it was like an early afternoon.
Yeah, it was like, and at like 11:30. There was an announcement, and they were like, ladies and gentlemen, students, everybody, everyone, because all our TV, because remember, did you ever have Channel 1 in your classrooms?
No, I didn't have Channel 1.
Who got their start? What was her name? Lisa Ling from The View got her start on Channel 1 News, right?
Yeah, shout out to Lisa Ling. She was on The View for a little while. My favorite.
I hated her on The View.
I loved her. Her and Joy were the only two I liked.
Any school that aired Channel 1, the company that did Channel 1, they would put TVs in all the classrooms. So all the classrooms had TVs in them that were connected to like a satellite or whatever. So you could watch Channel 1 or like whatever, like the one channel that like the school allowed you to watch. So they put on like CNN that day, and we got to watch the OJ verdict. And we got like the announcement at like 11:30, like, ladies and gentlemen, like the OJ verdict will be on in like 20 minutes. So like we put on CNN, and everyone just stared at the TV, and like the bell rang, but like no one changed classes. Like no one went to the next class. Everyone just stayed put. And it was just like tense moment, and we didn't know what was going to happen. And everyone was on the edge of their seats, and everyone was like stressed, and like who knew it was going to happen? And obviously we know now what happened.
Yeah.
A man got away with murder.
Now, can I tell you what my response was to the verdict being read at my school? My first thing I said was, does this mean they're not going to interrupt Days of Our Lives every day now? That was my main concern with the entire thing. I loved myself when I was a kid.
I'm sure the OJ trial was a crutch on soap operas.
It is one of the factors in the death of soap operas.
So fuck you, OJ.
Yeah, so OJ, not only did you murder your family and Ronald Goldman, you murdered my soap operas. I could be watching Santa Barbara right now. Was that still on when the OJ verdict happened?
No.
I know Another World and Days of Our Lives were on because I had to record those every day for my mom.
Yeah, it was Another World and Days of Our Lives.
So after Santa Barbara ended, NBC didn't have a third soap until Sunset Beach?
Yeah.
Damn, okay. I thought Santa Barbara was on for a lot longer, though.
I don't think so.
Kat's being super bossy tonight.
I think she's mad at me for my double-headed dildo.
Maybe you woke something it'd be the last time.
Yeah, maybe I said something in the deleted portion of this episode.
Poke your eye out with that.
Maybe I should not send her a wine drop, but a sex toy drop.
Just because sex toys are great. Did you know there's a law here in Arizona that you can only have 2 in a household? And if you have more than that, they can take you to jail or whatever.
How many do you have?
Are we including ropes and handcuffs?
Are those considered sex toys?
You bought them at Fascination, so let's see. I'd say at least 6.
Okay, well, I guess it's been nice knowing you.
Right?
You better censor your name in this episode then.
I'll be like, fuck Sue.
But speaking of ropes and handcuffs, let's get back to Home Alone. Where are we in the episode?
Okay, so the family realizes Kevin's missing, so the parents they don't realize he's missing until the baggage claim. When his bag comes up and everybody's like, hand this to Kevin, it gets all the way down to Fuller at the end of the line. He's like, Kevin's not here. And comes back to Kate, and she's like, Kevin's not here, to Peter. And he's like, wait, what? And she goes, Kevin!
Doesn't she fall back and faint?
Fainting is not fun, I'll tell you that.
But she does like a comedy faint where she just goes straight back.
Yeah, she's just the comedy faint, not the real life faint. Real life faints are not like that.
So what happens in a real life faint? Because you just recently fainted.
I've fainted 3 times in my life, and you always kind of get this weak dizzy thing going on, and then you're just down. If you don't realize what's going on, you're down. I fainted in high school during health class.
I feel like the only people who ever fainted were people in the 1700s, and they were always near a couch.
That's why there's fainting couches.
Wait, those are things?
Yes, yeah. That's an actual thing.
Huh.
You've never heard of a fainting couch?
I have not, no.
It's not like a couch that you would sit on for a long period of time. It's just kind of one that you would faint on.
Yeah, it's for you to get your bearings back, because you're not out the whole time. You're feeling sick, because you're feeling sick and you're just trying to recalculate and whatever, because you're trying to breathe again, and it's awful. I do not recommend fainting.
Are they called chases? Is that what they're called?
There are chases. I have a chase.
Those I've heard of.
I feel like a chase would be a good thing to faint on, I think.
Yes, because it's the long stretch out, relax kind of thing. It's better than the kitchen floor.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Is it a cold tile kitchen floor, or is it something fake plastic kitchen floor? Because that makes a difference.
It's a hardwood floor.
Oh, even better. I would faint on that.
That's what I fainted on.
So what were you doing when you fainted? Did you hear bad news?
I was listening to Wham and getting ready to go take a shower. It was really early in the morning. I was just talking to my stepmom, and then all of a sudden I felt like crap, and I was like, I need to sit down or go throw up or something.
I mean, I've passed out, but I've never fainted.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Did you go to the emergency room?
No, I didn't.
Because when someone comes in and says they fainted, I'm like, I don't know how to respond. I'm like, FYI, I work in an emergency room.
I mean, maybe I should have, but I was kind of already I don't want to go to the hospital. Dad's already in the hospital.
Yeah, and you'll get a guy that works at the front desk, and you're like, I fainted today. And I'm like, okay, all right. Well, you're here, you're standing up, so obviously you're okay.
Yeah, it's I was fine after. I just felt weak the rest of the day. And I went and I slept hours after it. Once my family left for Christmas dinner, I was I'm sleeping watching Christmas Story.
People faint. Catherine O'Hara fainted in Home Alone 2. And she's lucky she did not hit her head or anything, though.
Yeah, for real. Because, imagine that, a linoleum floor of an airport. You've laid down on an airport floor, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. Those airport floors are hard. It's probably cement underneath the tiles.
Yeah, it's cement and steel and...
Plus, 7 million people have walked across those floors. It's Miami. Miami's...
Pool of cocaine.
Yeah, there's probably cocaine all over the floor. Actually, that's probably why she passed out.
Not realizing that once again she is such a terrible mother. She has left her child behind.
Yeah, she got off the plane. She's like, where's the cocaine?
Welcome to Miami.
Yeah.
God.
Bienvenido a Miami. Can we talk about Catherine O'Hara's hair in this movie? It's great.
Really? I don't like it. I'm not a fan of her hair in this movie.
I kind of like that little flip flip thing she does.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like this was her trying too hard to be stylish.
You just reigned in Miami on my parade.
She's no Gloria. I'm sorry. She's just no Gloria.
That is true. So do you think that Catherine O'Hara knew that Gloria, the fashionable 90s lady, was in this movie and was like, fuck, I need to compete with this bitch.
Yes. I need to have, like, the hot hair because everybody wanted my hair last year, so I have to make sure I have, like, the hot haircut this year.
Yeah, she called up wardrobe. She's like, Gloria, out of this movie. Cut all her scenes. And they were like, but she's so integral to the storyline. Her butt gets pinched. They're like, all right, fine. Cut out the scene where she goes to the orphanage and saves all the children. And they're like, all right, fine. We'll cut that scene out.
Cut out the scene where she saves Kevin from, like, the pigeon lady.
Yeah. Cut out the scene where she defeats Donald Trump and finds out that he's embezzling money from the Trump Plaza Hotel, or whatever the fuck it's called, and sends him to jail and saves America 30 years from now.
Because she was a visionary.
She was a woke individual in 1994, and people just wrote her off as this, like, attractive blonde lady with really stylish clothing and hair. But no, she's a fucking superhero. She is Ms. Marvel.
She's as badass as Peggy Carter.
Rest in peace, Peggy Carter.
Instead, Catherine O'Hara shunned her from her big debut, and now Catherine O'Hara has to talk to the police, like the airport police. I don't know, what are they, security? Are they police?
Yeah, they're like security. Or maybe, it could be like a satellite office for the police.
It's Christmas Eve.
It's not Christmas Eve. It's like the day before Christmas Eve.
But it's close to Christmas, and it's like the shitty shift.
Yeah.
These people just want to be home and like dealing with their like family stuff. Instead, they get this fucking crazy lady who lost her kid. Again. And Catherine O'Hara like explains this whole thing. Like, she explains the plot of the first movie, and the cop's like, what the fuck am I getting myself into?
At least he seems to care more than the cops in Chicago did the year before.
That is true. But his response was, I'm sure he's okay. I'm sure he's fine. Like, he's probably at the airport right now. But no, he's not at the airport right now. He's in fucking New York City. You are a shitty cop. Just go home and be with your family because that's what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But the cop does have a good idea. He's like, wait, have you tried canceling your husband's credit cards? Which coincides with the exact moment that Tim Curry is running Mr. McCallister's credit card for the hotel room, and he gets denied.
Yes, because it gets listed as stolen.
You get that like scene where they're playing like the Grinch music.
The creepy ass fucking grin.
And Tim Curry's, that looks exactly, he looks exactly like the Grinch in that moment. Why the hell did Jim Carrey play the Grinch when it should have been Tim Curry?
And Jim Carrey should have stayed home and just nuzzled himself in Jenny McCarthy's bosoms that night.
Were they together then?
I don't think so.
Was he still with Lauren Holly?
I don't know. All right, so the family are now plotting their return to New York, but Kevin has other plans, which is to save the toy store.
He runs into the Wet Bandits right outside of the toy store, and Harry sees him and is like, oh, it's the kid. He sees the backpack. And it says K. McCallister, because that was totally like a thing people did, was put their kids' like names on these stupid backpacks, especially rich people.
Which it was a horrible decision to do, by the way. Shout out to shitty parents.
I mean, they keep leaving the kid behind, so what do you expect? So they grab Kevin and they're like, hey, buddy. And Marv, of course, can't shut the F up, so he's talking about what they're going to do to the toy store. And Kevin, of course, is smart and pours it on the talk boy.
Are you filing your nails in a podcast? I was like, what the fuck is that noise?
Sorry.
All right, so how does this movie end?
Okay, so Kevin, escapes the hotel, and he tries to go to see his Uncle Rob because he finds, the address in his dad's, address book, but they're not there, and it's, this abandoned, crack house, meth den kind of thing.
Yeah, so I guess Uncle Rob is doing some kind of, renovation, but it looks like the house has never been lived in before.
No, it's definitely been lived in before. It's just, destroyed. But then again, if you've got 5 McCallister kids...
Yeah, but it looks like it's never been lived in before.
It's, awful.
So, this is what Kevin, I guess, he keeps the idea in the back of his mind to use this as, a house of horror.
Operation Ho Ho Ho.
It's exactly what he does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He has it all mapped out on, a roll-out piece of paper that he found somewhere.
He has it mapped out again? Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I missed that. I've watched this movie 5 million times.
Oh yeah, he definitely rolls out a piece of paper and it says Operation Ho Ho Ho, and there's all the levels, and he has drawings and stuff on there.
I wonder if Macaulay Culkin drew it again this time.
He drew it in the first one?
I'm sure he did it in this one. I'm sure John Hughes wanted to keep it authentic. The only thing that I missed in this movie was the lack of John Candy.
Oh, John Candy.
Shout out to John Candy.
May he rest in peace.
Canadian bacon. So Kevin goes to the toy store because he knows that the Wet Bandits are going to be there robbing it, and he kind of antagonizes them.
Yeah, he takes their picture with like a Polaroid camera, and he has a letter for Mr. Duncan that he wrote on some hotel stationery that apologizes for breaking the
window.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then he lets Harry and Marv chase him back to Uncle Rob's house. And that's just where shit goes insane for like 30 minutes. It becomes like a Looney Tune cartoon, basically.
It's like the most ridiculous stuff that could happen happens. There's like staple guns and groins. There's paint cans at heads. There's electrocution at a laundry basin.
I love that all this stuff is just like lying around too.
Yeah, it's just like, because you know what? The workers who are supposed to be renovating this house probably haven't been there in like 6 months. So it's just like there because they're like, this dude's in Paris. He's not going to know that we haven't been here for like 3 weeks, 6 months.
But Kevin saves the day. He gets the sticky / Wet Bandits arrested, and they go to jail or whatever. Who knows what happened to them? And then he gets reunited with his family. And my favorite part of the movie is so they're all at the suite at the Plaza Hotel.
Mm-hmm. Because the Plaza gave them a free suite because they screwed up when they let Kevin leave.
Yep. So to show everyone sleeping and who has their own bed.
Fuller.
Exactly. Which is the greatest moment of cinema right there, is when they just show Fuller laying in bed by himself.
He looks so content too.
Yeah, everybody else is on these like pull-out cots and stuff and sleeping like on top of each other. And there's Fuller.
You know what? Good for him. And you know what? I would have pretended that I still peed the bed for like the rest of my life if it just meant that I got to sleep alone when we did these stupid family vacations.
Yeah, for real. Do you think like Fuller still pretends to like wet the bed so that nobody will like sleep with him?
Yeah, it's a few days after Christmas. The McCallisters probably went somewhere fucking stupid right now. They probably went to Hawaii this year. And Fuller's like, hey, you guys know I still pee the bed, right? And they're like, oh yeah, you're sleeping on your own tonight.
It's like, you know, like something's happened and I'm wetting the bed again, so I gotta sleep alone again.
Yeah, I got a UTI.
Because yeah, this is a family that's gonna still go away on vacation. And Kevin's gonna be like, can't we just like hang out in Chicago?
Kevin is still probably wanting like, Christmas at home. And they're still probably like, oh no, this year we should go to like Bora Bora.
And he's like, okay, I'll be here. Like, do you think that this family planned a vacation and forgot to tell Kevin one year? And like he comes home from college, like a day like after everybody like goes somewhere, and he's like, so where are you guys? Like, oh, we're in Cabo. Where are you? Yeah.
That would be a good reverse Home Alone. They should have done that when like Macaulay Culkin was like 16, like reverse Home Alone.
They could still do it. It's like Kevin and his family think they're like coming up for Christmas and the family's already gone.
Yeah, or like Home Alone on the moon. There's so many possibilities for Home Alone.
There are.
So, if you are listening to this podcast and you are in power of making a movie and you want to reboot Home Alone, call us or tweet us at Very Podcast.
Yes, let's talk. Let's do lunch.
Yes. Let's do lunch in Vegas in June-ish.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we doing next week?
Next week, it's just you and me again. Sorry, Steven.
You've been demoted.
I know.
But you know what? You've got your own show with Patrick that's starting soon, so whatever.
Yes. Should we announce this?
Yeah, what's that about?
In case you don't know, and you probably don't know, a very special podcast is getting a spin-off, and it's going to be amazing. I know we've joked about spin-offs in the past, but it's happening for real. And we are going to do, I know there's a lot of 90210 podcasts out there, at least one that I know of, but we're going to do another one. Wine 021 Bros is what it's called. Don't laugh. Embrace it.
I'm proud of it. I really am. I think it's great.
Yeah, so just, it's going to be coming out in a few weeks, so just, watch the skies.
But is that really the only spinoff?
Watch the tweets.
No, well, 2017, the podcast world of us is going to explode because we are going to do like 87 spinoffs next year.
Like all the spinoffs we've joked about doing are coming.
Yes, they're happening. So we are going to be branching out. So we're just going to do a podcast for everything. We're going to air our grievances. Kat's just going to like do a podcast about like like TV shows that she's watching. She just has a lot of shit to get off her chest.
Yeah.
Maybe some conspiracies, maybe UFOs, maybe true crime. Who knows?
You're just gonna like hear a lot from us because what else are we gonna do?
Yeah, we are boring people and we have nothing better to do with the times but just paint our fingernails and podcast.
I don't know why you guys think of painting my nails.
You're painting something. There's a gigantic paintbrush right on there on the screen.
I'm not painting my nails.
All right, so we're going to let Kat finish painting her nails, so join us next week when I don't know, what are we watching? We didn't even talk about that.
We are doing Friends, the one with the monkey, which is a New Year's Eve episode.
We're going to do a New Year's episode after the New Year. Sue us. Actually, don't. Send us angry tweets.
Ooh, that'll be a fun one.
Yeah, send us angry tweets. Tell us you're listening to this. Who are you people listening to this?
Yeah, tell us you hate us. And as always...
Bye!
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.